What the... That light... Is it morning already? No. No, that can't be possible. I swear I've only been asleep for a few Are you still awake? What time is it? I'm sorry, what? It's 3 in the morning? Why are you still awake? No, you didn't wake me up. You didn't disrupt my sleep. I actually wake up quite often during the night. But that's beside the point. Why are you still awake at this hour? Did you go to sleep at all? Oh, you couldn't sleep. Did you have a nightmare at some point? You had something on your mind. Do you want to talk about it? It's okay if you don't want to. I understand, I think, what you're going through. We're finally here now. We're in the Survey Corps. Our lives are pretty much bound to be short now. So I understand if maybe just the idea of that is weighing on your mind. And if it's something else, I probably understand that too. And I know that some people prefer to deal with these things themselves, but if it would help you to talk about it, I'm here. I won't think it's silly. I promise you, I would never think that. You can tell me, I swear. I won't make fun of you, I won't laugh, I won't judge you. I'll just do what I can to help you through it, okay? It's okay. You can say it. What was on your mind? I'm sorry, what? That's what was on your mind? It wasn't something that was making you afraid or making you stressed. It was a question about... No! Goodness, no! I don't think that's silly at all. Actually, that's quite a relief, really. I was worried that you were feeling anxious or scared or alone, and instead, you just had a question that you couldn't get out of your mind? Oh. Your question relates to something that you're really interested in. And what's that? Really? I never noticed that you had such a passion for that subject. So you couldn't sleep because you were thinking about that question? You snuck out of our room to get a book to try and find out? No, I don't think that's silly. When I was younger, I used to do the exact same thing. I would sneak out of my room in the middle of the night because I had a question, and I would go through all of my parents' books trying to find an answer. I honestly feel pretty glad knowing that someone else here does the same thing. No, of course not. I don't think that's weird at all. Were you able to find an answer for your question? That's great. You found it an hour ago. Then why didn't you just go back to sleep? Believe me, no one understands a thirst for knowledge better than I do, except maybe Hanji. But Captain Levi suffers from insomnia. He could be wandering the halls this very instant. If he were to see the light coming out from under our door... You just couldn't put the book down? Why's that? You found so much more about the subject than you knew? Like what? No, I'm really asking. I want to know. This is something that you're passionate about. It's clearly very important to you. Of course I want to know. People usually ask you about it and then get bored? Why is that? You start telling them everything there is to know about it? Well, if they ask you about it, why wouldn't you tell them everything that you know about it? Oh, they just ask to be nice. A lot of the time, they don't actually care. Well, I'm not asking just to be nice. I've actually had an interest in that subject for a while. I don't know a lot about it, but every time I thought about doing it, about learning more about it, reading about it, I just couldn't get myself to do it. You know that feeling? Well, then I guess you should know that I genuinely want to know. As much as I love reading, when it comes to a subject that I'm unfamiliar with, something that's completely new to me, something that I have to admit I struggle to focus on, books can only do so much. They describe certain things objectively, and while that's great for actual information and scientific facts, I'd much rather learn something new from someone who's passionate about the subject, someone who can tell me why exactly something is so fascinating. You know that feeling? You feel the same about the outside world? When I describe it to you, you think it sounds far more amazing than it does in lessons? That really means a lot to me. I know that it's almost the only thing I ever talk about. My mom used to say that whenever I would get interested in something the way I'm interested in the outside world, I would hyperfixate on it. I wanted to learn absolutely everything there was to know about it. I would talk about it all the time. I'd read about it all the time. It was all I would ever think about. And that does get annoying to some people, I know. But knowing that you don't mind, knowing that you actually enjoy hearing me talk about that, that means a lot to me, and I hope you know that. What are you doing? I know you're hugging me, but, why? Because I understand the way that you feel. You feel all of that too? You focus on one thing with all of your energy? Is that what you mean? You hyperfixate on certain things that interest you, and it's all you can think about. It's all you can talk about, it's all you want to learn about. It is all-consuming. Yes. Yes, I do understand exactly what you're talking about. I thought I was the only person here who was like that. I thought that everyone else would be confused or irritated when I tried to explain that. But you feel it too? Then I guess you realize that we're probably going to be up for the rest of the night. Well, what do you think I mean? I was serious when I said that I wanted to know all about the subject you're researching. I want to know absolutely everything you can tell me. Everything that fascinates you about it, I want to know. Yes, I mean it. I mean everything about it. Now that I'm awake, now that I know that you want to talk about this, that you're willing to talk about this, I want to know. And I know that if we wait until tomorrow, this sudden surge of desire to learn about this, it might go away. You know what I mean? Then bring your book over here and start explaining it to me. Oh, but maybe we should try to be a bit quiet about it, okay? As much as I'm looking forward to this, I'm not looking forward to what will happen if Levi catches us awake at this hour. Yes, we should probably keep this whole conversation to ourselves. After all, there's a very high probability that we're going to end up doing this regularly, and if that's the case, we really, really don't want any chance of Levi finding out. Oh yeah. That too. It's kind of like, now, after curfew, we have our own little world. A world in which we can just talk about all the things that interest us. All of their beauty, all of their detail, everything about them. And the rest of the world just disappears. I like that. So, let's begin, shall we?